Greetings everyone, my name is Pavel Shtelmach and today we'll get into the top news of this day. Russia's new nuclear doctrine came into force on November 19th, approved by Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. The document provides for Russia's ability to use nuclear weapons in the event of aggression against Russia and Belarus by a non-nuclear state with the participation or support of a nuclear state. Nuclear deterrence will be used if a potential enemy deploys air defense systems, medium and short-range missiles, precision non-nuclear weapons, and even drones. This is a tactical game of the Kremlin, as stated by many international and political experts, in answer to their long-awaited decision on the use of American weapons against Russian military targets inside Russia itself.
This or that European or American leader is guided primarily by their own security interests, as well as by NATO's interests, is not reaching a phase where this potential third world nuclear war is more than real, and Putin is playing on that. They are trying to change their doctrines in relation to those tactical actions that relate to the Russian war and the increase in the degree of tension. These are also signals that, in my subjective opinion, should be sent to Trump and his entourage. Bogdan Ferenc, international expert, in a comment to public radio broadcaster of Ukraine.
The United States was not surprised by Russia lowering its threshold for a nuclear strike and doesn't plan to adjust its own nuclear posture in response, the White House said on Tuesday. As we said earlier this month, we were not surprised by Russia's announcement that it would update its nuclear doctrine. Russia had been signaling its intent to update its doctrine for several weeks, the White House National Security Council said in a statement. Observing no changes to Russia's nuclear posture, we have not seen any reason to adjust our own nuclear posture or doctrine in response to Russia's statements today, the statement said. The representative also mentioned Russia's use of the North Korean military to wage war against Ukraine, which he called a significant escalation. German foreign minister during a press briefing also mentioned that the Russian ruler is trying to use fear against them.
And Germany in particular made a mistake back then, especially politically, of allowing itself to be intimidated by this fear and above all not listening to its partners, especially our East European partners, who made it clear at the time. We must not rely on promises from the Kremlin. We must invest in our own security and protection. Annalena Baerbock, German foreign minister, in a statement of response to Russian nuclear doctrine changes.
And to the question of strategic strikes. Ukrainian forces struck a plant in Russia's Belgorod Oblast that produces cargo drones for the Russian army. Additionally, a weapons depot in Russia's Novgorod Oblast was also hit. The United States has authorized Ukraine to use British Storm Shadow missiles to strike deep into Russia too, The Times reports, citing its sources. The newspaper points out that British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's position on the use of Storm Shadow missiles has recently changed. He was previously against it. In early November, The Telegraph wrote that Macron and Starmer would try to persuade Biden to grant permission for one last time, because the United States was against it. Let's recall which cruise and ballistic missiles does Ukraine have in its arsenal. The most damaging are, of course, ATACMS with cluster warheads, anti-compound Storm Shadow and Scalp missiles, as well as domestic Neptune, secret at the moment Polyanitsa cruise missile, and Rim-2 ballistic missile complex. Also, several powerful Soviet missile complexes are still at Ukraine's disposal, possibly enhanced S-200 missile and operational tactical complex Tochka. Another day of escalation, as Russia has been ruthless in its missile strikes against Ukraine since day one of the full-scale war. The Ukrainian side has been gathering the required arsenal for almost 3 years and waited for the permission to use it. And let's not forget the incredible ability to adapt, develop asymmetrical decisions in the struggle to survive that Ukrainian developers have demonstrated over the period of this war. So we shall see. And that's it for today. The war continues for already 1,001 days, and the Russian war lasts for 3,926 days. Let's remember that. Your support matters now as never before, so stay safe, share this video, and support the truth. Goodbye.